In terrifying news, DOGE is in the systems that oversee our nuclear codes. I'm going to say that again. DOGE is in our systems overseeing the nuclear codes. These 22-year-olds are in there with little oversight or guidance. These people probably couldn't have passed a background check. So before we get to that, let's just talk about who these people are, because there's been amazing reporting that just came out yesterday about one of the DOGE teens who owns a website called Tesla.sexy LLC and worked at a startup that has hired convicted hackers. A young technologist known as online as Big Balls, who works for Elon Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency, has access to sensitive U.S. government systems, but his professional online history is called into question here. Tesla.sexy LLC controls dozens of web domains, including at least 2 Russian registered domains. One of those domains, which is still active, offers a service called Healthy, which is an AI bot for Discord servers targeting the Russian market. And while operating of a Russian market website would not violate U.S. sanctions with companies from doing business with Russia, it could potentially be a factor in a security clearance review. So we have hackers in our system who are associated with Russia, but that's not all. This person said there's little chance that he could have passed a background check for privileged access to government systems. So Donald Trump and Elon Musk are completely subverting the systems we have in place to keep us all safe from folks like this from working in the government. And there's more. This to me is the most concerning. Potential concerns about Korstein extend beyond his work history. Archived Telegram messages shared with Wired show that in November of 22, a person using the handle Joey Crafter posted to a Telegram channel focused on so-called distributed denial of service attacks. These are like hacking attacks that bombard victims' sites with junk traffic to knock them offline. In his messages, Joey Crafter, which records from Discord, Telegram, and the networking protocol BGP Indicate, was a handle used by Korstein, writes that he's looking for a capable, powerful, and reliable L7 that accepts Bitcoin payments. That line, in the context of a DDoS for hire Telegram channel, suggests he was looking for someone who could carry out a layer 7 attack, a certain form of DDoS, a DDoS for hire service with the name dstat.cc, was seized in a multinational law enforcement operation last year. All right, if you're like me and you're like, what the hell does that all mean? I'm just going to put it as plainly as possible. This person was looking to hire someone to attack someone else using computer technology. That is the simplest way I can put it. It is a form of attack. It is likened to hacking. It's not getting into something, but it is very much so cyber criminal activity. Okay, so these are the people who Elon Musk has hired, who currently are going through the code of our government. And as this reporting from CNN says, are now being allowed into the IT systems that oversee our nuclear codes. A representative from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency was granted access to the Energy Department system on Wednesday by Energy Secretary Chris Wright. 2 people with knowledge of the situation told CNN. Wright granted access to DOGE Representative Luke Ferreter, a 23-year-old former SpaceX intern, even over objections from members of the department's general counsel and chief information offices. The people told CNN. The DOE Chief Information Office is the department IT and cybersecurity office. Members of the general counsel and chief information offices said this is, quote, a bad idea. Understatement of the century, because Ferreter hadn't had a standard background investigation needed to access the department's system, one of the people told CNN. He's not cleared to be in DOE on our systems. None of these things have been done. Here's how Elise Jordan, former Republican, I think she's either former or current, regardless, compared it to Joe Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan, saying this is necessary.
Is this the way to do it?
Absolutely. The execution here is terrible. I have been thinking that this reminds me a lot of the Biden administration's Afghanistan withdrawal. It needed to be done. It was done terribly and in a way that could have been much, much better. What we're seeing here is a long overdue correction, though. I worked on a USAID project in Afghanistan, so I admit I'm pretty biased. Afghanistan was one of the worst places for return on investment for USAID spending. There was more of an emphasis overall in places like Afghanistan and Iraq to spend the money rather than to actually have results. And that's how they measured accountability, essentially. So something has to be done here.
These are actually so different. I don't even know where to begin. It's infuriating to see the legacy media try to minimize what is happening right now. We have a rogue U.S. citizen in our systems with hackers who are unvetted, and more on that in a bit later in the show about how unvetted they are, and have histories hacking systems. And they have zero oversight. We don't know what they're doing, what they're changing. And by the way, it's unconstitutional on top of everything else. The executive branch is killing programs with a rogue billionaire that Congress has said need to be funded. If they want to change it, they could pass some laws. But instead, the President of the United States is acting without authority to destroy programs and systems. So it is not like Afghanistan at all. At all. And Twitter users are more on the money about this than anything else. One person says Musk operatives are now potentially gaining access to info on U.S. nuclear systems. Are there any courts that see an urgency? Well, Elise Jordan doesn't see an urgency. And someone else said, how does accessing Department of Energy IT systems, which includes access to information about the U.S. nuclear stockpile, fall within DOGE's stated remit? Why does DOGE need access? I don't know why any of this is happening. But I do wish the legacy media and our elected officials would take this as seriously as it is, because this is serious. This is very serious. It's constitutionally questionable at best, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous, and we have to figure out a way to stop it.
If you watch or listen to my show, you're probably more knowledgeable about news and politics than most people, and you can turn that into cash through our loyal sponsor, Manifold. It's the app and website that lets you win cash simply for predicting what happens next in political news. It is completely free to play. Think of the predictions you've made that have come true. If your political predictions on Manifold are correct, you win what they call sweep cash, and each sweep cash is redeemable for $1. Your correct political predictions turn into real cash. Very simple. Manifold gives you free sweep cash every single day. You use it to make predictions to win more sweep cash. You never have to spend a dime to win real money. You can even make predictions for cash on non-political things like the Super Bowl this weekend. Go to manifold.market/Pacman and you'll get free extra sweep cash just for signing up to get you started. Again, no purchase necessary to get sweep cash or to win cash prizes, but you can go bigger if you want. Use my link to get 40 sweep cash plus 5,000 mana for just $20. The link is in the description.